Lehigh Valley! Lehigh Valley! All right, I step away from the mic and turn it over to the chairman, Sharif Street.
All right, Pennsylvania Democrats. So I apologize for us being delayed a little bit. There was the Juneteenth flag raising in the Lehigh Valley, and we were there with several of our members. But with that, we have an important meeting to get forward, and we're going to move forward. One, thank you, Mitch. Thank you to all our team, especially Vice Chair Grove, for keeping things going. Listen, I think we'll begin all things in decency and order. Mitch, should we begin with the opening invocation? Flags. Presentation of the colors. Folks can please rise for the presentation of the colors. Yeah, I know. Okay, she is. National anthem. Please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join us in the singing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Play ball. You guys are great. You got the agenda? All right. So we'll now have the invocation by Donna Petrina.
Thank you, Senator.
Everybody.
Sisters and brothers, I would like to begin by thanking Father Rodney Torbig for his guidance. As we bow our heads in prayer, I would also ask that you remember the following. Philadelphia State Representative Dwight Evans, representing for over 44 years, he's recovering from a stroke, and I would ask that you keep him in your prayers. In addition, one of our members, Shelley Green, was injured on her way to the State Dems Committee, I guess yesterday. I would also ask that we remember Candy Stillman, who was injured in a fall, and of course, Marion Robertson, Michelle Obama's mother, who passed away yesterday. I would ask that you keep them in your prayers as we say the following prayer. We seek God's guidance as we gather today as a statewide Democratic body. Our desire is to make sound decisions that will benefit this Commonwealth and this nation. We are seeking to choose and endorse leaders who will make decided and lasting differences. We desire a world where peace prevails at home and abroad. We are troubled by the violence and acts of war taking place in the Middle East and Ukraine. Oh Lord, we want leaders who will stand up for justice in the workplace, for safe work conditions, for secure employment benefits and pensions that are guaranteed. A need exists to correct the evils of the corporate greed and provide the opportunity for our unions to freely organize workers. We trust that as a result of this gathering, we will make decisions pleasing to Thee, O Lord, and your reassurance presence will be felt as we go about our work here. We are thankful for all of our committee members present today and participating. And we are thankful to Thee, O Lord, for your guidance and your blessing of our work, for you are blessed among all ages.
Thank you. One addition, also keep in prayer the family of Dr. Cyril Weck, who long-term public servant who recently went to glory. And the Congressman Evans is a United States representative. Okay. And so now, I had a paper. Okay, action on the credentials. Okay, we'll hear the report from the Credentialing Committee. Ms. Diane Bowman. Credentialing Committee is not ready, so we can't proceed with. Now, this could be a good chance if we had the machine here for Councilman Harity to redeem himself, since he failed to show up. I won by abstention, and he thinks he can sing Elvis. You want to sing some Elvis, Jimmy? Let's see if Jimmy Harity sings some Elvis.
So not only do I got to sing from memory. Now, I don't know about all that. I don't know about that. He's going to second? Yeah. I go first, he goes second. Do I have to sing the whole song?
No, just the first.
Just the first couple verses. All right. Yeah, baby. Right. Should I do ladies' choice, right? Yeah. Hip motion, yeah. Always and forever, each moment with you is just like a dream to me that somehow came true. And I know tomorrow will still be the same, 'cause we got a life of love that won't ever change, and every day Love me your own special way. Melt all my heart away with a smile. Take time to tell me you really care, and we'll share tomorrow together. I'll always love you. I'm losing my voice here. Is that all right? Was that enough?
All right, now I don't even know if I should try and go after that. Well, I'm not much of a singer, but I can do this. When I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare at the wall, and in the back of my mind, I hear my conscience call, telling me I need a girl who's as sweet as a dove. For the first time in my life, I see I need love. There I was, giggling about the games that I had played with many hearts, but I ain't saying no names. Then the thought occurred, teardrops made my eyes burn, as I said so to myself, look what you done to her. I can feel it inside, I can't explain how it feels. All I know is that I'll never dish another raw deal, playing make-to-believe, pretending that I'm true, hoping in my laugh is to say that I love you, saying I'm old, kissing you on the ear, whispering I love you and I'll always be here. Although I often reminisce, I can't believe that I found a desire for true love floating around inside my soul, because my soul is cold. One half of these serves to be this way till I'm old, but the other half needs affection and joy, and the work that is created by a girl and a boy. I need love. All right.
Chairman, can I get a point of order real quick? I just want to say that we do not own the rights to this music. Just for the record, we do not own the rights to this music. Thank you.
That is true. Special shout outs to Elvis and LL. Okay. All right.
That's right.
Now, because we're Democrats, now, who thinks that Councilman Harity won the karaoke contest? All right, who thinks that I won? I think, Mitch, what was that? Sounds like a draw. One more time, who's for Jimmy Harity? Who's for me? I don't know. Did I win? All right, well, go. We had a lot of fun, so I think everybody's a winner. All right. Are we almost? Is the credentialing committee almost ready? No. We're almost there. Can we do? Okay, we can. I think we're allowed to hear. We have reports that are not being voted. We have committees that have reports that don't require any action. So we can't do rules because that's going to need action. Voter outreach. Mr. Burt, come on up, Madam Vice Chair.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
I'm not going to sing. But I will tell you, I sang in the Winter Olympics in 1960 at Squaw Valley. Me and 2,000 other kids. Anyway, I just want to commend everybody for all the things that you guys have been doing. For those that are running for statewide office, those are running for House of Representatives, for our local Pennsylvania House and Senate, Congress, our Senator Casey who's running, everybody. And for all of you who are helping all these people. This is such an important year. I know you've heard it and heard it and heard it, but you know what? 5 months, 5 days, and these hours between now and the time of the election are the most important ones you're ever going to live. And you need to put your hearts in it. Put your shoulder to the grindstone. And you can't start in the fall. This is not a typical summer. This is not a typical election. And everything that the orange guy does seems to get him more votes instead of less. Who would ever think that somebody that got 34 guilty decisions would raise $34 million? I mean, that's insane. It's just beyond my comprehension. So we cannot allow this to happen. I'm not going to list all of the things that every one of you know is so important, but what we're losing right now, according to the polls, but I don't believe all the polls, but we need to get those young people back. I think part of the problem has been the 2 wars that we're fighting and the war that we're fighting in the south part of the United States, the immigration war. And they're not our fault. None of the 3 of them are our fault. And we can't interfere with other countries, but what we can do is influence the way it's talked about. Influence the people, the young people especially, that we're talking to and trying to tell them all the things that Biden has done over the last, his whole lifetime actually, that are the positive things that have specifically helped him. And if you come up with some ideas, jot them down and tell the coordinated campaign. Tell Mitch, tell Peggy, tell me, tell Sharif, etc. Pass those ideas along because any and all things need to be on deck this time. Those of you who are for or against a particular candidate today as we vote our next slate of DNC members in, after that vote is done, after we've got our 7 people or 8 people, whatever it is, 7, after we have that, we need to have everybody be behind them, regardless of who struck John or whatever, who cares? At this point, we need to all buck up and put all those differences aside. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care whether you're old, young, whatever. This is the United States. We all need to row the same boat together. Because if we don't, and you know what? I don't know about you, but I'm for the bathrooms, the unisex bathrooms they have in Europe. This is ridiculous to have fights over bathrooms. And if they're going to take birth control pills away, they better damn well take the Viagra. I mean, it's not fair. It's ridiculous. So, some of these things that we all, and I don't care whether your religion says that they believe in abortions or not abortions, but you know what they're calling abortions now are basic women's health care. We have a worse record of babies being saved at birth or close to birth or in the 9 months till they become born, the gestation period, as well as maternal deaths. We're worse than some of the third world countries. This is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. This is uncalled for, and it's getting worse. And the fact that doctors can be put in jail for doing what is natural to try and save the life of a woman or the life of the child and the woman, it's just unfair. And I could call it a lot of other things, but I'm trying really hard not to use 4-letter words like Carlin. So, please, everybody, roll up your sleeves, put on your best comfortable shoes, get an extra pair, because you're going to wear out that leather this year. You're going to wear out those phones, get those extra minutes on your phone, your phone card or whatever you're using, whatever kind of phone you're using. And call 5 people, have them call 5 people, have them call 5 people, etc. It works. It works. So please, please, please. The other thing is you need to educate these lots of us are registering the college students and high school students. That's fine and dandy to get them registered, but do they know how to vote? It's more complicated now than it ever was. Then they know the rules and that they can't just collect everybody's ballots on the floor and turn them in. They'll get in trouble. Everybody's supposed to turn in their own ballot. And they can't sit it around in a circle when they're doing petitions and just pass the petition around and get everybody to sign. You can't do that kind of stuff. Not anymore. Maybe you could do that back in the 30s and the 40s, but you shouldn't be doing it now because you get caught. So, and we don't want people to have that on us. Democrats don't work like that. At least they shouldn't. So, long story short, everybody get to work. Because if I don't see everybody working and I don't see a little sweat on your brow, I'm coming after you. Be good, be careful, and stay awesome.
Program's right there.
All right, so next we're going to hear from a couple of our statewide candidates. Malcolm Kenyatta is in the house. Come on up, Malcolm Kenyatta!
My fellow Democrats, I want to come and say something that I've said to many of you individually, but I want to say again, thank you. Thank you. Because of your help, not only did we win, but we got more votes than anybody in a contested primary in Pennsylvania because of you. So thank you. Now, let me say this. You all understand we got a pretty important election coming up in a couple of months. You've heard that. You've heard about that. I am confident. I have to convince anybody in this room what it's going to take, what it's going to require. But we need to truly, truly, truly keep as our North Star why we're doing the work that we're doing. Why it matters whether or not we re-elect Joe Biden for 4 more years. That really matters. It matters that we send Bob Casey back to the United States Senate. It's pretty important. It matters that we make Eugene DePasquale our next Attorney General. It matters. While you're in the voting booth, you're going to hear from her. Got to vote for Aaron McClellan to be our next Pennsylvania treasurer. And I would like you to make me your next Auditor General. But here's why. November 6th, based on the work we did, there are going to be real people across Lehigh County and across Pennsylvania who are either going to continue to have health care or are going to see the Affordable Care ripped away from them. Cancer drugs that they need. Insulin that they're dependent on, that's now $35 because of Democrats, won't be $35 anymore. Capping prescription drugs at $2,000 a year for seniors. That won't exist anymore if we don't win. There are people right now, folks right now, in states all across our country who can't go to the doctor and make a personal health care decision for themselves. We've heard about people who had to go into sepsis before an emergency physician would give them the care that they deserve because they're worried about going to jail. 1/3 of women in this country now live in a state where that's a reality. If we do not win, that will be all women in this country will not have access to that care. So it really matters if we win. We are in a position right now to get rid of every lead pipe in America because of the bipartisan infrastructure bill. But if we don't win, I promise you, we won't be replacing those lead pipes. There are folks right now who are depending on the things that this president and Democrats have accomplished. And not only will we not do more, but we will go in a drastic different direction if we do not win. And so listen, yeah, I want to win for the Democrats because I'm a Democrat and that's nice. But the truth is, Democrats have a real vision for the future of this Commonwealth and for the future of this country. And that vision is not about pledging loyalty to a failed reality TV show host. That vision is about making sure working people and working families can look at their kids in the eyes and know that they're not lying when they say life's going to be a little bit better for them than it was for the last generation. And I will end with this, but I don't want us to ever lose sight of it. I was really lucky. Our chairman's really lucky. A lot of us are really lucky to grow up and have parents or grandparents who were on the front lines of the civil rights movement. And so in addition to just reading about it in school before they were trying to ban books, we had people who we knew personally who could tell us about what it took for us to be able to take advantage of all of the American dream. We take some of this stuff for granted. But there was a time where we wouldn't have an openly gay man running for statewide office in Pennsylvania. There was a time where it had been unconceivable. There was a time where a lot of women in this room, you didn't have the right to vote. And there were some folks running who said you shouldn't again. I wish that was a joke. We are the beneficiaries, each and every one of us, are the beneficiaries of a lot of folks who sat in rooms just like this and who were committed to expanding the promise of this country. And I will be damned if we let it end on our watch. We can't say to the next generation, sorry, in 2024, we just couldn't get our act together. We couldn't knock on the doors. We couldn't make the phone calls. We couldn't give the $5 a month to the party, to Malcolm for Auditor General, to all the candidates. I don't know about you, but I refuse to have that conversation to the next generation. So are we ready to not just win for Democrats, but are we ready to win for the future? Are we committed to that? Are we committed to that? Well, let's go win, Democrats. God bless you.
Our next Auditor General, Malcolm Kenyatta. All right. I think we got our next treasurer in the house as well. Aaron McClellan, come on up. We want to hear from you. We've got our next treasurer of Pennsylvania, Aaron McClellan.
Democrats. Mr. Chairman, friends of the Democratic Committee and the people of Allentown, I am so honored and humbled to be your nominee for Pennsylvania State Treasurer. You know, as a mom of a 23-year-old young man who's very idealistic and in his first year of law school, I look at him and I have to think more about what comes in his future than mine. And I look at what the other side is doing versus what we are doing. And I know that there is promise in what we believe in. I know that there is promise when we look forward and we see that we are going to protect our workers, protect our women, give voice to the voiceless, embrace the disenfranchised and the impacted, and make the future a better place. Contrast that with the Republicans' Project 2025. This is a 900-page manifesto that declares complete and utter annihilation of our public sector workforce and our entire social safety net. As somebody who spent 20 years in social services, helping the impacted, supporting and helping addicts recover, helping people find homes, and helping fight a criminal justice system that did everything it could to hold them down. I cannot stand by and watch this party declare war openly in 900 of the foulest pages I've ever read on everything that we have fought for since the Industrial Revolution. I ask you all in this campaign, as we looked forward to what we are fighting for, what is the vision we are creating? What is the story we have to tell? And I ask you, do not forget that from which you came. We are the party that followed a king to the mountaintop. We are the party that looked out and saw a great society. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Said there is nothing wrong with America that can't be fixed with what is right with America. And said the dream lives on for everybody that wants to fight for it. We change the face of a nation with the affirmation that yes, we can. And at a time of great peril, we promised every American that we will build back better, and we absolutely have. Today, the number of uninsured in the United States of America is the lowest it has ever been in history, and we did that. Today, we have seen an economy that will not stop. We've seen the greatest number of jobs produced in this nation's history, and it's not slowing down, and we need to keep it going. For the first time since we went into a trade deficit on August 13th, 1971, we are seeing a record number of jobs being brought back to this country. Made in America is a real, viable thing. And we are the party that has told women, if you want to empower us, you give us more choices, not less. Better choices, not worse. As a woman, I firmly believe, if you do not have enough respect for me and all the women around me to empower me to make my own decisions about my body, then you don't get to manage $163 billion of my dollars. So as this campaign moves forward, that is the story that we are going to tell. The story that affects every American. It is not about whether they're with us. It is about whether or not we're with them. Our job is to bring them into the fold, inspire them, raise our turnout, which we know that enthusiasm needs brought up, and we've got to fight to do that. And I am honored to do that with Malcolm Kenyatta, with Eugene DePasquale, with President Biden and Senator Casey. So I look forward to working with all of you moving forward. For those of you who supported me in the primary, I can't thank you enough. For those who didn't, please, I'd love your support. I need your help. We have a race to win. Thank you so much.
I'll tell you this. I don't think anybody in America's got a more fiery set of candidates for Auditor General and Treasurer than the Pennsylvania Democrats. So now we'll hear a report from the Voter Outreach Committee.
Hi, everybody. My name is Roberta Laney. I'm from Bucks County. I'm chair of the Voter Outreach and Registration Committee. So, looking at the fact that we wanted to do more with the committee, we actually went about and we came up with a mission statement that says exactly what our intent is moving forward. So I'm going to read it. I don't memorize very well, but the Voter Outreach and Registration Committee will serve as a resource hub for sharing information and ideas across the Commonwealth. We will register new voters and encourage all registered voters to build on each other's strengths and experiences, tactics, and tools. The committee will work to expand outreach efforts to elect Democrats up and down the ballot. So you can see that that takes in more than what the name originally says for the standing committee. We broke it down into subcommittees. Makes the work a little bit easier if you have more people in charge of more stuff, except not one person. So our subcommittees right now are legislation, training, communications, young Dems, rural, resources, and research. And today's meeting, at our meeting, we concentrated on two more of the subcommittees. One is voter registration. We're collecting and analyzing reliable and timely data on demographics and past voting patterns. And we broke it down. We have all of the counties' statistics broken down. So anybody that needs that for your voter registration, we've spent a lot of time, Kathy McCulley spent a lot of time doing this data research. So it's there for you. And then we talked about our outreach survey to solicit feedback on voter outreach efforts and specifically talking points. Jennifer Toff and Andrea Baptiste did a lot of work on this. We have one survey out. We intend to make more. That one of the biggest things people ask about is, can we have talking points? We're doing that. What we hope the future for our committee will be, that we will be that resource center. So instead of spending 3 hours looking for an answer to something that you have a question about, hopefully you'll be able to go on the resource center, type it in, call somebody, get your answer right away, move on and be able to do what you wanted to do that took you 3 hours before you found out how you could do it. So we had everybody fill out index cards. I encourage everybody to get in touch with me and send me your name, address, email address, and phone, and what you want. Because we're not going to make up what we do. We're asking you what you need. So we will provide the information. If we don't have the information, we're going to work on getting the information. So that's my report. And anybody who has any questions, just email me. We'll be glad to answer anything. Anybody have anything that right away they're interested in?
All right. Thank you.
Oh, my email is very easy, but it's not working today. It's roberta.laney@icloud.com.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody needs any additional information? Thank you for that very thorough report. I will now hear the report from the Credentialing Committee. Ms. Diane Bowman. You can flip the little switch, it should come on.
Oh my. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to report that we do have a quorum, but I'd like to go in a little bit of detail for this event. So there are 370 eligible voters for this meeting. And that means our quorum is 186, which is 50% plus 1. Present, we have 260 members, 72 proxies, for a total of 332. In addition, out of the 21 nominating committee members, there are 8 considered present, and they are non-voting members. With our state committee members alone, including the proxies that are representing them, we came within 90% of our total eligible voters for this meeting are here today. That's pretty remarkable, to be honest with you, but it is a beautiful day. A couple things I just wanted to address. One is, as you have realized, trying to proxy people in before the meeting is a very laborious process. And so I would really encourage you to stick with the timeline that we put in our schedule, because we have things we have to do in order for this meeting to progress in a timely manner. So I would respectfully ask you to consider the fact that you're holding up everybody else when you proxy late or you credential late. I'm just going to give you that scold. It's why I've got the white hair, by the way.
Thank you, thank you. All right. We have the report of the credentialing committee. So now we'll hear the report from the bylaws committee, Mr. Tom Herman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's not since been before 1984 that our current bylaws were given a comprehensive review. It's over 40 years. In the last 2 years, our committee has had numerous meetings, spent many late nights, and we have done a comprehensive review of the bylaws. We have eliminated, for the next meeting, we have eliminated all the stuff in there that no longer exists. We have fixed the typos. We have made the bylaws current with our practices, and we have made sure that we are in compliance with the national DNC bylaws when it comes to non-binary language and pronouns. At our meeting on Friday, that is a big deal. At our meeting on Friday, our committee unanimously voted out of committee a set of bylaws that, pursuant to our rules, will be presented to you in the next 30-day call for our next meeting for a vote of this committee. We're hoping that when we do that, we'll set up a Zoom meeting with the state party for everyone to participate, to take a look at it, and we'll have a discussion on it. But it is our intent to put this out for the next 30-day call, because our rules require that, and vote on it at our October meeting. Folks, we did this not because it's easy. We did it because it was hard. And Chairman, I don't have to tell you, you're only as good as the committee that you work with. And I am so damn proud of the committee that I have. Thank you all very much.
All right, thank you. The chair accepts the report of the bylaws committee. We'll now hear the report from the rules committee. Chair Michael Majubian.
Can you hear me? Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. At 2 o'clock yesterday, the Rules Committee met, had a quorum, and we discussed 2 things on the agenda. One was a report from the subcommittee that was developing a process by which our body could potentially develop a state version of our policy platform. They have put together a draft process and have begun to engage with the committee. That subcommittee and our committee is going to be reaching out to all of you via email shortly to talk about how you can input in this as well. And there is a current goal that we also will put together in the next 30-day call, a process by which we might move forward. The other thing that we dealt with was the rule for the voting meeting we're about to have next for the DNC membership, and pass this rule out unanimously. What I'd like to do now is explain what that rule is, and then I'm going to make a motion that we adopt it in the body as a whole. Firstly, there's the DNC has requirements. Well, we're going to be electing a 7-member delegation to the Democratic National Convention, and the DNC requires that have a certain gender balance. The way it's described in the DNC is that looking at men and women, there cannot be a deviation of more than 1 between them, and those who identify as non-binary do not count in either category. This rule required that anyone that wanted to run had to fill out a nomination form, an affidavit of candidacy, and that was due at 11 a.m. And as of 11 a.m., the nominations would be closed. So that has happened, and we know the full field of candidates that are running, and there won't be any other nominations on the floor in addition to those 14. So we have a field of 14 men, and 7 men and 7 women all running for the 7 seats. Those who are voting, to be eligible, you have to be a credentialed in voting member of state committee or a proxy. That does not include those who are on the nominating committee, as their voting rights are limited to, according to our bylaws at this time, endorsements. Members, in order to become elected to the DNC, have to get a majority of the vote. And that is a majority of those votes cast on that particular ballot. So, in the first ballot, if 100 people vote, it would take 51% of the people on that ballot for you to prevail. On ballot number 2, if only 50 people vote, it would be a 26-person threshold in order to win. There will be no speeches by any of the candidates at this time, as you've all heard from them in various other meetings. However, the candidates will be having someone nominate and second them for a very brief amount of time, because remember, that is 28 people that have to speak to make this happen. And so here is how the manner of voting will take place. The first ballot will consist of all 14 candidates. I believe you'll see them listed in alphabetical order with their gender listed. You will be able to cast a vote for up to 7 members on that ballot, or 7 candidates on that ballot, regardless of gender. You can vote for anybody you want. Any candidate who receives a majority of votes on that ballot can be declared winner if they fit within the balance of the gender balance rules. So if there is still an open spot for a man or a woman, and that particular man or woman gets a majority, they can fill that spot. All candidates who meet 15% or higher will be able to move on to the next ballot. So when we go to the next ballot, if your candidate does not reach a threshold of 15%, they will be dropped off the ballot. And if everybody goes over 15%, the lowest person will be dropped off the ballot. So there will be a guarantee that each ballot has fewer people to vote on, so long as it allows us to eventually meet our gender requirement goals. And then on each subsequent ballot, you will have the ability to vote for the number of remaining seats left that we still have to fill. And finally, let me point out that if you have an objection to something that happens during the process, you must raise that objection during that voting round, because once we close the vote and move on to another round, all objections are waived. And that is the rule that was adopted. And I think I'd like to make a motion now for this body to adopt the rule formally.
Chair, the motion's been made by Michael Majubian. I see a second. I see multiple seconds. The motion's been moved and properly second. Is there discussion? No. Is there discussion? Is there discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That motion does carry. Those rules are adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So, the chair will entertain a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes and the treasurer's report, which will be made available this time. All those in favor? Did I hear the motion? All right. That motion's been moved probably second. All those in favor? All right. Opposed? That does carry. Okay. Now we'll move at this portion of the meeting, we'll be moving to the election of Democratic, DNC members. So we got the list of people who are going to be nominating people. Micah. Let's bring up the nominations list. The people who are, I know, but you can't, this is symbolic because the nominations have been done by written notice. I'm calling up by candidate. Persons interested in nominating, if there's a person who's going to be making a nomination for Lindsay Scott, please come to the microphone. Nomination and seconder.
Can you hear it now? I, State Committee Christopher Kovardovich, from Chester County, here to nominate Lindsay Scott to be a member of the Democratic National Committee representing Pennsylvania.
All right, do we have a second to that nomination?
Hi, I'm Angie Gallardo, Allegheny County.
All right.
I am here to nominate a man who I've known for 30 years on state committee. This man not only has served state committee, he has helped financially. Tom is really an individual and someone who will be an asset to state committee as he has been here at the regular meeting. We need somebody at national, and Tom certainly fits the bill in my books. So it is with great honor, great pleasure that I, Angie Gallardo, Allegheny County, proudly endorses Tom Henn. Thank you.
All right, so at this point, we're going to hear a second for Tom Herman or Lindsay Scott, because we need to go. Go ahead.
Lindsay, go ahead. Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Jim Heckman, McKean County State Committee member. I'm here to second the nomination of Lindsay Scott.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Kevin Ballard from Berks County. I second Tom Herman.
All right. Now here, folks interested in nominating Jim Harity.
Hello. My name is April Riddick. I'm Lehigh County State Committee. I'm also a Lehigh County Commissioner, and I nominate Malcolm Yates.
Okay.
Colleen Guiney, a member of State Committee from Delaware County, proud to say yes to Yates. Please join me in seconding and nominating Malcolm Yates. Said it right.
All right, that was Malcolm Yates. So we heard second. Ms. Bennett, you are recognized. Turn the mic on. Somebody help her.
Good afternoon, everyone. I proudly stand here to nominate one of the most hardworking people that I know, and that is Councilman Jim Harity for the DNC.
Do we hear a second for Councilman Harity?
Do a second.
All right, Miss Angie again.
Is it time?
It's time.
Hi, I'm back again. This time it's for a city that's really encouraged me in my political career, and that's Philadelphia. Thank you, Philadelphia. I hereby endorse with my whole heart and soul nobody else like Jimmy Harity.
Thank you, Miss Angie. Do we hear a nomination for Will Anderson? Go ahead, do whatever you want to do.
My fellow members of Democratic State Committee, I rise today to nominate a tireless worker for the party, a dear friend, our first openly LGBTQ, and first young Dem from PA in modern times to the DNC. He's done a fantastic job representing PA for the last 4 years, has sent out updates, and has not missed a meeting. I, Alex Reber, a State Committee member from Dauphin County, do hereby nominate Sean Malloy to be a member of the Democratic National Committee representing Pennsylvania.
Thank you. Second for Sean Malloy.
Yes, it's this old lady again. But you know what? I love it. I love being a Democrat. But most of all, I love endorsing people that I have faith in. Sean certainly deserves to be on national committee. He worked so hard on our former Congressman Mike Doyle. And in Allegheny County, old we may be, but we sure in hell don't forget. So please vote for Sean for DNC.
All right, thank you. All right, so now entertain nomination for Will Anderson.
Hi, my name is Latrice Bryant. I'm from Philadelphia County. When I first started out in the State Committee, it was back in 1989, believe it or not. It was Young Democrats with Andrew Henschel. And Andrew Henschel, if any of you knew him, he passed away, and I didn't find it fun anymore. I came back in like 2010, and I met my friend Will Anderson. He's been a leader throughout the state of Pennsylvania, especially in Allegheny County. Most people think that he's from Philadelphia because he's always in Philadelphia. So I, Latrice Bryant, nominate William Anderson for DNC.
Do we hear a second?
Yeah, my name is Valerie Keenstaw from Crawford County, and I proudly, with honor, second that motion.
Do we hear a nomination for Todd Egan?
Hi, everyone. Colleen Egan Garrity, Lackawanna County State Committee, Northeast Caucus Chair. I am proud to nominate my brother Todd Egan for another term as our Democratic National Committee representative. Why? Because he's about the work, he's dedicated, experienced, and passionate about our democratic values and I know he will continue to represent the people of Pennsylvania with honor and integrity. Go Todd!
I see Miss Roberta Laney. What do you think about Todd?
Roberta Laney, Bucks County. Listen, I'm here not because I'm his mother, but because he does the work, and I'm proud to second the nomination of Todd Egan.
All right. Chair will entertain nominations for Jeremy Breon. No problem.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chairman Street and fellow committee members. I am here today with admiration and enthusiasm to place in nomination Jeremy Breon for the DNC.
We hear a second for Jeremy Breon.
Mayor Amanda Hammock, Delaware County, and I second the nomination of Jeremy Breon for DNC candidate.
All right. Chair will entertain nominations for Michelle McFall.
I'm jumping right up here for this one. Listen, today in this vote, we are spoiled for good choices. But among those choices, I think we have a chance to vote for one of the best people I know, Michelle Milan McFall from Westmoreland County, to be on the DNC. And I will just say this. You know, people can talk about what they do, and we have great folks here who do a lot of great things, but I'm always interested in why people do what they do. Michelle, like me, grew up in a working class family from a whole generation of union leaders and union workers fighting for fair wages and be treated with dignity and respect. Then she decided to go into the classroom as a public school teacher and became a union member herself. And now she spends every single day. I mean, there's never a time I have Michelle calling me, talking about how she can help somebody do something. And so we're gonna have an incredible slate, but I know among that slate, we need my dear friend, Michelle Milan McFall on the DNC, and I'm proud to nominate her.
Chair, second.
Yes, fellow Democrats. My name is Ravi Balu, Vice Chair of the Westmoreland County. My good friend Michelle has ignited Westmoreland. The big joke in our town is there are no Democrats. After she came into the fold, we have tripled, quadrupled our Democratic voting. And last term, we had 95% turnout in our district, which is unheard of. And I second the nomination for Michelle McFall. Thank you.
Now Chair now entertain the nomination for Cindy Bass, Councilwoman Cindy Bass.
From Philadelphia County, I am Latrice Bryant, and I'm proud to nominate Cindy Bass for DNC. Cindy Bass has served as the leader of the second highest vote-getting Democratic ward of the city of Philadelphia. She has served as a councilperson. She is a current member of the DNC, and she looks forward to coming back to bring the best to the state of Pennsylvania for all of us. I ask that you please cast your vote for Cindy Bass. Thank you.
Thank you. Here a second.
Jackie Baker, Susquehanna County State Committee member. I would like to second the nomination for Cindy Bass, my friend from Philadelphia, a hard-working woman who we need to send back to the DNC. I ask you to vote for her. Thank you.
All right. Chair, entertainment nominations for Seema Kasami.
I'm Dr. Umar Farouk. I'm state committee member from Bucks County. I'm here to nominate Seema Kazmi for the DNC. I know her for a long time. I've seen her professional and political growth, and she supported Affordable Care Act and insulin prices. And finally that happened, and President Biden did it. As a doctor, I am proud of that. Please join me to nominate Seema Kazmi. Thank you.
And thank you, Mr. Chairman. Blade Klein, York County. Whether Seema is driving through a snowstorm to get to the Penn Ag Democrats luncheon, spending our statewide candidate petitions in Harrisburg, or representing us at the White House at the AAPI Heritage Month briefing, she always shows up for us, so I'm proud to second the nomination.
Chair will now entertain nominations for Mama Linda Fields.
Good afternoon. Andrea Baptiste, Montgomery County. I nominate Linda Fields to be reelected to the Democratic National Committee. Her level of commitment and her hard work for our party, her community, and all of our voters will serve us well when she represents us again.
I, Christopher Kovardovich from Chester County, second the nomination, and you all know this from hearing her, our servant leader, the compassionate Linda Fields. Thank you.
Chair will now entertain nominations for Peggy Lucas.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and Vice Chairman Grove and State Committee members. I'm Vince Facides, Fayette County Commissioner and 32-year member of Democratic State Committee. I would like to place in nomination Peggy Lucas into nomination for one of the open DNC seats. Peggy's contributions to the Democratic Party are unparalleled, specifically focused on serving all members, including rural communities. The daughter of a union carpenter from Fayette County, she learned firsthand the dignity of a union job that could bring, that can provide for her family. Her mother served as a committee woman in Fayette County, giving a deep understanding of what it means to be a rural Democrat. Peggy also serves as the Secretary-Treasurer of the Penn AG Democrats and the Membership Services Director of the Pennsylvania Democratic Party. Peggy demonstrates her commitment to Pennsylvania's... How's that? All right. Peggy demonstrates her commitment to the Pennsylvania Democratic Party by example. With Pennsylvania being the #1 battleground state in the nation, there is no better person to be on the DNC than Peggy Lucas. Our party is strong because of Democrats like Peggy. I proudly place Peggy Lucas into nomination for the open DNC seat. Thank you.
Well, folks, it's me again. I know you're damn tired of seeing me.
Never tired of you.
This nomination to me is so important. Peggy has proven not only to be a good Democrat, but a great secretary. And anytime any of you ever had a problem, Peggy was there. So it was great pride, great honor that I second the nomination of Peggy. Thank you.
All right. The chair will entertain nominations for Lauren Hergert.
Can you hear me? Hello, everybody. My name is Bethany Hallam, at-large council member and state committee member from Allegheny County, and I rise to nominate one of the strongest, most courageous people I have ever met to the DNC. Lauren Hergert. So I'm sure that many of you have spent this weekend, like me, wondering why anybody would want to run for DNC, right? But that's the best part about Lauren, is because it's not just that she wants to be on the DNC, it's that she knows she has to. She knows that too much is on the line this election for anyone to take anything for granted. She embodies everything that our Democratic Party is and everything that it is supposed to be. She is hardworking, she is kind, and she is compassionate. But one thing she isn't, she's not a politician. And while many of the DNC candidates spent their morning going around to caucuses asking for your vote, Lauren was busy on the phone making sure that today's massive pride parade in Pittsburgh went off without a hitch. That's who Lauren is. Even from a hotel room 5 hours away from home, Lauren is an organizer. She's bringing people together. She's making things happen. And at a time where we all know our communities, our country is so divided, we need somebody who can build bridges. That's what we do in Pittsburgh. We need somebody who can build bridges from Pittsburgh to Philly, from Clarion to Delco, and everywhere in between. That's what Lauren's gonna do. We've all seen the numbers, right? We know that the clearest path forward for victories in November for Democrats up and down the ballot like Joe and Bob and Aaron and Malcolm and Eugene is to motivate young people. The energy that Lauren brings into the room, like you think I have energy, when she walks into a room, everybody sees her, everybody definitely hears her, and everybody can feel the passion that she has in everything she does. Now I'm gonna shut up, but I'm not gonna shut up without reminding you that if we want to show what our party truly is, that we don't just talk the talk, but we walk the walk, that we believe in the future of this party, that we believe that we know the threat that are Republicans on the ballot, we need to send a fresh face. The youngest candidate for the DNC, and my very best friend in the whole entire world, Lauren Hergert, to the DNC. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Clarion County Commissioner Braxton White and State Committee member from Clarion County, I am very proud to nominate the progressive champion, Lauren Hergert.
All right. Chair will entertain a motion to close nominations. Second. All those in favor? Opposed? That motion does carry. All right, we'll begin the process for voting as soon as I'm notified that we're ready. We're ready.
Support PCN and the programming you love by texting PCN TV to 877-907-9770. With your generous donation, PCN will continue to share everything Pennsylvania with you and your neighbors. Please consider donating today. PCN is everything Pennsylvania.
I know they're about to do it now. Drum roll. All right, here our drum roll. So, the folks in green are advancing. Councilman Jim Hardy is our top vote getter. Advances. Michelle Milan McFall, Chair of Westmoreland County, is now a DNC member. Congratulations. Todd Egan is now a re-elected DNC member. Peggy Lucas is now a re-elected DNC member. And Sean Malloy is a re-elected DNC member. Congratulations. Advancing to the second round are Lauren Hergert, Cindy Bass, Jeremy Breon, Linda Fields, Malcolm Yates, Lindsay Scott, Seema Kazami, and William Anderson. And Tom Herman, as the lowest vote getter, does not advance to the second round. All right. So now we're going to round two. We will open voting for round, what'd you say? That we're going to need a minute for the staff to get things together. Shortly, we'll be opening voting for round two. Right. Yeah, in round two, because 5 people have been elected, voters are permitted to cast a maximum of 2 votes in round two. You will no longer have 7 votes because we've already selected 5 members who reached above the 50% threshold. We now only have 2 votes in round 2, a maximum of 2 votes. You may not give any one candidate more than 1 vote. You may not vote more than 2. You are not required to vote for 2 people. No. Oh, yes, and because of the gender balance, there are 3 men and 2 women. You may vote for either men or women because we have satisfied the male requirement. We must elect at least 1 more woman, but we can also elect 2 more women. So you may vote for men or women.
Mr. Chairman, over here. It's only me, Chuck Pascal. Mr. Chairman, we have a request from the floor here that given that we have these long lulls in the proceedings, that during the next lull, perhaps we could have the cabaret back.
We'll see. So if it goes long enough, we might. All right, so we're about to open voting for the second round. If you can send out the email so we can open vote for the second round. Voting for the second round will begin. We will keep it open for 5 minutes because folks should know what they're doing now.
PCN is Pennsylvania history and culture. From the founding of our nation to the struggle for freedom and equality. Listen to the words of authors as they discuss Pennsylvania and the people, places, and events that relate to the Commonwealth. Celebrate our diversity, embrace the past as we look to the future, and be a part of building our nation. PCN is Pennsylvania history and culture.
Survey says. All right, so these are the results. No one has reached the 50% threshold. 3 people do drop off. That will continue to the 3rd round. Councilwoman Cindy Bass is now in first. She continues. Lauren Hargert second. She continues. Jeremy Breon, Malcolm Yates, and Linda Fields advance. The 3rd round, Lindsay Scott, Seema Kazmi, and Will Anderson do not reach the 15% threshold and drop off. You still have 2 votes.
All you gotta do is say yes to yes. Yes to yes.
You still have 2 votes.
Yes to yes. 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 Yes to yes.
All right, so you still have 2 votes. You still have 2 votes. You may vote for men or women. All right, so you can take your eyes to the big screen. Survey says? Survey set? Okay. So in this round, Councilwoman Cindy Bass is now a DNC member, which brings us to we now have 3 men and 3 women. So it still could be, you could still vote. In the final round, you will have 1 vote. All right. You got 1 vote. It could be for a man or a woman. Cindy Bass has now won. Lauren Hergert, Malcolm Yates, and Jerry Bremont advance. Linda Fields does not. I'm looking around the room. I see no hands, so I think we're good. The couple people we held it open for, we let them get it done. So listen. All right, voting is now closed. If we can look toward the big screen for the tabulation. Survey says. The suspense. The technology. Okay. Do I need to rap again? All right. Survey says. And the final member is Lauren Hergert. Congratulations, Lauren. We now have our 7 members of the Democratic National Committee. Congratulations. All right, we still have additional business to attend to. All right. In the next order of business, we will move forward with the presentation of the DNC slate. Presentation of the DNC delegate slate for the Biden campaign. Come on up, Cliff. All right. Go ahead.
All right, folks, we'll try to do this very quickly. Cliff Levine, I'm here on behalf of the Biden-Harris campaign, authorized representative to present, pursuant to the state plan, a list of the proposed delegates. As many of you know, delegates ran per congressional district in the primary. So most of the delegates have been selected in that process, and there's been a certification. Most have been approved. So with that, under the plan, we were going to stage this. There's like categories at large, the public officials. As part of the request, I'm going to ask that it all be done at once, given everybody's interest in closing the meeting. And as part of that, it would also be the slight modification of the rules. So with that, I'll note here are the names. So there are 2 replacements in CD5. There was a vacancy due to a resignation. Dan Murhoff is recommended for that position. CD13, Caleb Donahue, who was originally selected and just for some technical reason wasn't on the ballot. So those are the 2 replacements. We have 19 pleos. Pleos are the political leaders and elected officials. Those include Neil Bisno, Matthew Bradford, Bob Brady, Jay Costa, Angela Ferrito, Ed Gainey, Kathy Gilmore Richardson, Jordan Harris, Michelle Henry, Sam Hans Greco, Vince Hughes, Sarah Innamorato, Kenyatta Johnson, David McCall, Joanna McClinton, Sherelle Parker, Jason Salas, Matt Turk, and Wendell Young. There are then 35 at-large members, and the recommendation of the campaign is that this includes Nina Ahmad, these are all in alphabetical order, by the way, Anthony Bellman, Mona Cohn, Barbara Bunny Cooper, Eugene DePasquale, Eleanor Desi, Ashley Araz, Angie Giloretto, April Jajets, Brenda Gregg, Bernie Hall, James Harity, Lourdes Jasso, Curtis Jones, John Kane, Steve Kelly, Malcolm Kenyatta, Tariq Khan, Jamie Kinder, Nancy Kleinberg, Dan Lavelle, Tracy Lawless, Tim Leach, Cliff Levine, Betsy Magley, Aaron McClellan, Beth Moy, Corey O'Connor, Tamiko Patterson, Lindsay Powell, Abigail Salisbury, Mary Tucker, Mary Esther Van Shura, Claudette Williams, Regina Young. Then there are 12 alternates that have been selected. These include, in alphabetical order, Caitlin Aaron, James Baker, Rosemary Boland, Donna Bullock, Barbara Charkis, Corianne Fluker, Ellie Goluboff, Schrager, Joseph Lockey, Mike McGuire, Silas Russell, Deb Tarici, and Jake Wheatley. And those delegates, subject to the approval of the committee, will be approved, and then the committee people will be selected following that decision.
All right. A motion to approve.
Mr. Chairman, Tom Herman, Berks County. I move that we approve the list as submitted.
All right, that motion has been moved and properly seconded. All right, any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion does carry.
Thank you very much.
Oh, don't forget, we got Demstock, August 23rd and August 24th, Butler County Farm Showgrounds, 625 Evans Road, Butler, PA. Thank you, Miss Angie, for everything you do for us. You endorsed, you nominated so many people. We appreciate it.
What are you up to? I'm a sneak by you.
All right, I see a motion. He made a motion to adjourn. It's not debatable. They're yelling. All those in favor? Aye. That carries. What is your...